Hi guys, Asmo here, and today I wanted to give you a few tips for sustaining maps in the Synthesis League in Path of Exile. I've seen a lot of people struggling with sustaining their maps, so there are some general tips that I have here, mostly for beginners, that will help you sustain your maps and progress your atlas, and you will never have to run out of maps ever again if that ever was an issue for you. So number one advice, which will not apply to everyone, because of course you want to play whatever build you want to play, but what helps is having a build that can run all of the map modes, or like most of the map modes. I am playing such a build. I'm playing Allelopathy, Blight with Castwall, Channeling, Soul Rend, and then I'm gonna be switching maybe to Essence Drain, Contagion. That can do virtually any build because I'm virtually any map mode, because I'm playing as a trickster, so I have like different ways of recovering my life and mana, and I'm never worried about reflect. So if you are playing something like mines, totems, traps, or chaos damage builds, you will be able to run more map modes. Therefore you will be able to run more maps. Just you find random maps and you'll be able to run them without re-rolling, which saves you currency and time, and you just get more. Second tip that is combined with the first one is also to run unidentified maps for the plus 30% quantity bonus. Map returns are greater in those unidentified maps, and they are very easy and safe to do if you are running something like my build or something like mines, totems, traps, things like that, right? So that's another way of like just sustaining your maps way more. Whenever you find unidentified map, you can just run it. Run memory fragments, even if you don't interact with the Nexus, just like me, because I'm pretty much just waiting for the patch. I'm not gonna do the Nexus now because it's so screwed. Like, I'm planning my route, and then while I'm going through the route, a zone appears and it messes up the route, removes one of my planned fragments of that, and then I cannot do it. It's just so frustrating, so I'm just not interacting with the Nexus now. However, I'm doing the fragmented memories by just running them, ignoring the, like, I have maximum 10 of those fragments in my inventory in the Nexus, so I don't even bother clicking the thing to stabilize them. I just go kill all the big packs of monsters. If there are some good loots there, then I can just pick them up so that I don't have to wait for the loot explosion later, and that's it. And then run into the blue zone and you're done with that. That will give you some map drops, some more currency, and it's just free experience and free mobs. It's just like a corrupted zone, just like incursion. It's just additional monsters in your map. Also, look for additional ways outside of mapping that can give you maps, and here are some of them. Like, for example, Surveyor Study in the Temple Incursions is one of the rooms that you can upgrade, and it will give you more maps, because whenever you run the temple, you will also have natural map drops, but also you will have that room with the maps, and it has chests containing maps, so that's very, very helpful. Also, delving towards cities. Cities frequently have chests that contain maps, and these maps don't need to be unlocked on your atlas, so it's a really good way to also progress your atlas completion. So do the temple incursions, do delving. Whenever you are reaching maximum sulfite, just go and delve deeper and deeper and deeper and try to find cities. Also, whenever you encounter Rin in Betrayal, she gives cartography scarabs and maps depending on which of the 4 safe houses you're gonna have her. So Rin in Betrayal also helps with maps. Also, try to avoid doing the 3-to-1 recipe for maps of higher tier. You know, like, you sell 3 maps that are the same, and then you get 1 map that is higher tier. Try to avoid that unless you need to unlock that specific map for your atlas, because it will eat into your map pool very fast. It is often just better to quickly run those maps and get more drops instead than trying to get it 1 tier higher, because it's not that big of a difference. Like, 3 drop of, I don't know, tier 5 will have better drops together combined than 1 map of tier 6, right? It's better to run 3 of those tier 5s and just get more drops. Also, don't be afraid to use currency on your maps. That's like the biggest mistake that I see. You can use alchemy orbs on maps very fast, as well as spare Val fragments. Just make sure to pick up unique items and like rare jewelry, because it's small in your inventory, to sustain your alchemy orbs, and then you can do that no problem. You can just alch every single map you're running, and if you're running a good build, you can run pretty much every single map of those alched ones. You don't even have to read them. Like, I pretty much don't read the map modes. I'm playing in softcore right now, so that's also helping, right? In hardcore, you might want to read them, especially in higher tier maps for like crazy damage mods that you might want to avoid. But that's just something that helps. Whenever you have, for example, 3 of the same map you want to run, throw a white sextant on it. I've often seen people hoarding sextants for no reason and struggling to progress with their map drops being low. It's just better to use the currency early on and get to higher maps faster, because you'll make up that currency later at a much faster rate. So just use your alks. Even you can use chisels. Like, I'm actually spamming chisels and just getting more and more maps, and then later I will just buy them or get more drops in higher maps, right? It definitely helps with the progression. Also, keep spending your silver coins on prophecies, and the prophecies that are bad, like you can get rid of them, you can seal them. For example, like the quests for uniques that you're not gonna ever run, you just seal that, throw that in your inventory, or throw it into like a stash tab where you sell things for 1 chaos or whatever. Maybe someone wants that. And then just spam other prophecies until you get something, you know, with items. You don't even have to read them. Just automatically, whenever you are not capped on prophecies, get more prophecies, you jump into the map and some prophecies pop, and then you just keep doing that, right? And that will give you more monsters in your maps just randomly, which means more chances to drop additional maps. And from my experience doing things like that, for example, if I'm doing yellow maps of like tier 6 to 8 and I'm using just alchemy orbs, and maybe I'll use 1 sextant or maybe some valve fragments, I always get more than I put in. Running like 6 maps gives me about like 5 maps of the same tier, and then maybe 1 higher map, and then 3 to 4 lower tier maps, plus all of the currency I've invested, and much more on top of that in other items and currencies that could easily be exchanged for twice as many maps. Like, the best tip I can give you is, like, if you have maps and you struggle to sustain higher maps, just run the lower maps. You will get currency from them. You can buy the higher ones, or you will drop them, or something like that, right? Like, the more maps you run, it's way better to just keep running maps, keep running delves. If, for example, you want to do yellow maps and you cannot sustain it, or you want to do red maps and you cannot sustain that, then you just go delve, you just go do your tempo, go do betrayal safe house, go do nexus stuff, like whatever you have that is not map, and then you will get some maps, and then you can go back to running maps, right? So that's what you can also do, or you can just drop 2 exiles like I dropped today. But that's it for this video. I hope this helped you a little bit with sustaining your maps. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.